Hey everybody, welcome back to One Seed, One World. So I'm gonna do some outside planting today. I'm just checking my soil temperature with the thermometer. I've had it in there for a little while. Looks like it says soil's about 58 degrees in these raised beds. And I'm trying something new this year. Normally when I plant my beets, I plant them from seed. But I saw some things where you can like start them early inside and plant two or three together in a cell and kind of do it that way. So I decided I'd try that and see how it worked for me. My sprouts came up beautifully to start off, but then I had a problem with a mouse who got in and crawled up into my little mini greenhouses in the basement and started eating off all the leaves, not only on my beet sprouts, but also on my purple cauliflower and cabbages that I had going. So a lot of that got eaten away before I got the mouse with a trap. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant these outside and see if they survive, because they're kind of scraggly now. A lot of their good leaves that initially started have been eaten away. But, you know, we can get them in the ground and see what happens. Early spring is good to get your beets started, whether you do a direct seed out, in the garden, or just or do like transplants like this. I'm doing both today because I have some other varieties. I have a golden beet and I don't know how you pronounce this one. Is it Chioggia? I don't know how you pronounce it, but beautiful striped beets. I actually grew these last year. Got actually a really huge one. I'll show a couple pictures of that here. But those did pretty good for me. But we'll see how these sprouts go. This probably isn't going to be the best test, but we'll see what happens. So I got them all transplanted in and watered in, and also over this previous week I've hardened them off, brought them outside, got them used to the outdoor wind and sun and whatnot over the past week. So even with that, with the damage the mice did to them, I'll be surprised if they pull through this transplanting and then living out here. We'll see how it goes. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. But I've also got those other beet seeds that I'll start a second set of beets in case these don't fare so well. So the other things I have to do today, or to plant today, besides some random seeds that I'm doing of like Swiss chard and lettuces, some more beets, some cilantro, things that you can get started earlier, about 4 to 5 weeks before your last frost. You can start that stuff outside. But I've got these onion starts that I'd started inside. These I marked as red onions, and then I also have the yellow sweet onion. It's a Globo, I think it's called. And then I also have leeks. Only I didn't mark these two, but these are the leeks and these are the Globos. Now, you might be wondering how I can tell, because I mean they look very similar, right? All these, like, how do you tell which variety is which by just looking at them? And the answer to that is I have no idea. I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing. Sorry, but I'm pretty sure that these are the Globo ones and that these are the leeks, just because leeks tend to have that thicker stalk, and these have a thicker stalk than these do over here. So that's the story I'm going with, since I didn't mark them. So I'll get these in the ground. These have also been hardened off. And when you're transplanting your onions, they're pretty hardy. They can take a little beating around. Some of these I've got 2 or 3 together, and I could just leave them that way, and they'll come up together like that, which will work just fine. Or I can pull them apart and separate them out farther if I wanted to. I will probably just leave them together in bunches, because that's what I did last year. So the last thing I'm going to be putting in today, for transplant wise anyway, not my seeds, but for transplants, is what's left of my cauliflower, red cabbage, and green cabbage. I had several plants in each one of these, but these were also hit with the mice. You can see up here, like, these have nothing left on the leaves, just the stem, so I doubt they'll survive. But anything that I can plant in here, I am going to try and get them started. And I'm also going, because not many survive the grazing of the mouse or mice, I'm gonna add some seeds, especially for the purple cauliflower in there. But putting this stuff in my hoop bed today. I've already got the plastic on. And it's all ready to go. So I won't be leaving the plastic on this thing for very long because our temperatures are already starting to come up for April. I looked over the next 2 weeks. We do have a couple of nights that could get down to about 38 or so Fahrenheit, but for the most part, it looks like it's going to stay 40s, 50s, and then 70s during the day for a lot of the different days. So. All right, so besides putting in those transplants today, I mentioned I am putting in some other seeds. I'm not gonna go through the whole list, but some additional beets, stuff like carrots, Swiss chard, a mix of lettuces and that endive, those kind of things that like the cooler weather, and you know, if you can get them going sooner, probably a lot of them I could have even started inside, but I'm just direct sowing them outside. So I hope whatever's going on in your neck of the woods is working out fantastic for you, and hopefully you guys are getting into your gardens and starting to doing some planting if you haven't already got things going on. Started inside as well if you've got the room. But thanks for hanging out with me again here today. We will see you again soon. Namaste.